pretty much a new age smash concept, Slim. Gonna have Henderson right here on a hitch. Same thing for Shorter on the outside here. You'll have Pearsall, the man of the hour here, pretty much working a bang 8. You're going to want to work this against this zone coverage, and the first person to really uncover, you hope, actually is Pearsall. You're going to read deep to short there. I think you got my man Zipper right here getting vert, and then you got another hitch on the outside right here by Johnson there. So you can pretty much see where they're going with this. Even on plays like this. What was I saying last time? Well, actually, I'll go back through what I said last time. Valuable threat to always pass the ball. We know he's a valuable threat to take off and run. You're probably not going to be able to stop that. Some of these high-end teams, though, I think will be able to stop that. They're going to be able to use a dedicated spy and really make it hard on them there. Him into it there. Now, the product placement on this one, once again, is a little bit high. But he's throwing with some serious revolutions, like I'm saying. I wonder if they actually tell him to back up off that. He's going to be breaking some fingers here pretty soon. Because, hey, this dude is box office, like I said a couple of years ago. He's must-see TV. And definitely enjoy watching him and seeing his progress. He still has a long way to go, in my opinion. If you just watch, just got to be able to be accurate no matter what. So they're able to complete this Jakob once again. But look at that. If he's able to stay up on his feet, you never know how much of a bigger gain that could be right here. Let's see it on the pull here. Working with the shotgun there. You can see him on the pull. The short routes definitely collect attention here. And then you have almost a stutter as well, almost like Pearsall stuttering like he could stop as well. That diverts the attention there. You still got this deep third coverage here. He either has a third of the field or a quarter of the field. However you want to combat or if you want to analyze that there. But my man continues to work down there. But look at the accuracy there. Or more like lack thereof. All right, here's that sprint out play that I diagrammed on the last video. If you're following along, you know I really like this play right here. This time he takes this might be the first time that I've seen him take the deep portion of this. So if you didn't remember, you're going to have kind of a submarine route here by Zanders. You're going to have a wheel route by Henderson here following behind, I believe, Justin Shorter, perhaps. We'll see when we get there. Getting vert there. It looks like you have Trent Whittemore, my man. Back at it right here. He's running on an over route or probably like a middling crosser. So, of course, you'll have him with the front-facing play-action fake and then a sprint out. So you can see the levels concept there. And if you read deep to short, I believe it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Front-facing play-action fake. Now check this out. Now that I see this right here, look at this. Airspace and opportunity. He's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. That's a touchdown right there. He still takes a deeper option than the one before. Coming to Henderson right here on his wheel route. See right there? But if you see Shorter's done, right? These guys are cooked. Grass, blades, chopped. You would have been striking up the band right there. Shorter's open. So he's not seeing the entire field yet. But he does get it to Henderson right here. So that's progress on that instead of taking the bunnies, which he was earlier. Now listen, let's not sugarcoat this right here. This was a horrific performance by Anthony Richardson. Absolutely horrific. This could be both a gift and a curse. Now, I just kind of wanted to get you guys on here to kind of talk about some stuff. Obviously, I'll still go through some of the film stuff here, but I wanted you guys to know this could be a gift and a curse. Obviously, if anybody understands the fabric of this sport, anybody thinking Florida was some type of national championship contender because they beat Utah, that's asinine. Utah living off of past accomplishments in a different conference. So that's just, let's be real here, less talented than what Florida plays against. You can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that. I told people to just relax. Just relax. You can't start talking about Georgia because you beat Utah. It's the first game of the season. We have no data on these teams. I hate preseason rankings. I don't think teams should be ranked until like the 4th or 5th week of the season. Get a true ranking out there. That'll curb people's enthusiasm, then that's when we'll get actual good results, right? You won't get props for beating some team that ends up not being very good anyway. So we don't know what Utah will be, but man, you had people coming back here after one game talking about the previous coach, the hacker, like this, you know what I'm saying? I forget this cat's name, Dale something, but this dude was in here. He was talking about, oh yeah, Mullen would have lost that game and this and that. I'm like, dude, Mullen won plenty of games. Like, I was like, man, you going to mess around and lose to freaking Kentucky because the expectations are a little wacky. That does not make any sense. A guy like Anthony Richardson's a work in progress. I said that. Could be a gift and a curse. Maybe something like this propels him to come back next season. Next season, I expect Florida to be off the meter. This season, man, you're just working with house money. New staff, new coach, new frontline players all across the board. No more jumping Jake and guys like that. Come on, man. Get real. Now, this is correctable. It's a bad mistake. It's a pick six. It looks very bad. But seeing this, right? Cover 3 cloud. So you have cloud coverage going on here to where, let me diagram this out for you right here. The free safety pretty much getting post to the middle of the field. You'll have a safety right here. He'll be getting depth because the cornerback is allowed to be a little bit off, and he can work from being off and work forward. So he'll have eyes on the quarterback there, and the safety will kind of replace him there. So it's pretty much almost like it's like a match type defense. So as if I believe they said it on the telecast right here. I ain't gonna be honest. I hate listening to Greg McElroy. That's the worst. I hate them, no doubt about that right there. So I be having that shit tuned out, muted, and all kinds of shit right there. But when you see something like this, you usually wait for the squatting corner. You can run a variation of this. Maybe you get a hitch and go. Or you pretty much call this off and go somewhere else because he's squatting. He's looking. You can't shoot this directly over there. You probably could, though, if you were on the same page. So you got Naquan Wright right here. If they're on the same page, you shoot that out quickly. But Naquan Wright, being a veteran here, he sees a squatting corner. So he's probably like, well, let me get vert on the squatting corner there and get past him because he's going to be squatting on this right here. So they're just pretty much on different pages. It looks bad. It looks probably worse than what it really is. This is something they probably wouldn't get hit with twice right here. So you got him squatting right here. Maybe if they're on the same page, he could have ran the hitch right there. He probably would have got tackled really quick, or they could have hitched and gold on that bad boy. But just throwing it out there, premature evaluator. My man is a preemie. But that's to be expected. This guy's in his first handful of starts. He's a one-man regime. There's no doubt about that. But that goes the other way as well. He can very much shoot you out of a game. He can shoot you in a game. He can give you 50 points shooting you into a game. Or he can give you 50 misses shooting you out of a game as well. One-man regime type cat right there. As you can see right here, boom, splatter whacked. Fertilized himself right there. But that's correctable, man. Come on now. Let's be real right here. You got people jumping up on here saying he's garbage and all this and shit like that. You're going a little bit too far. It's funny how a lot of the things that I mentioned in the first film study against Utah came to fruition in this game against Kentucky. First and foremost, you got a guy like Mark Stoops on the other sideline. The guy's just a damn genius. He's one of these guys that one of these programs, these bigger programs, need to poach. I hate to always do that to him every time I run across Kentucky or I got to cover Kentucky because he's just that damn good. He does the most with the least. Not to say Kentucky's not a talented team. He's got their talent level a lot better, but he does very well given just under the given circumstances, period. And they know how to scheme up. Dedicated spy. That's exactly what I said. What happens when you have a guy that could be a dedicated spy on money downs? They don't even really do much here. You get a 3-man reave with a wide integrity right here. You get someone up the A-gap. My man right here from the edge comes through the A-gap right here on this 3-man weave. He bumps Richardson off the spot. Richardson has to get a lot of depth to get around the corner here, and they drop the other edge player out almost like a fire zone right here, and then you work with the dedicated spy. That's different than what Utah was doing, probably different than what Utah was even capable of doing. See right here, the 3-man weave, edge player, they catch him right at the end, but he still bumps Richardson off the spot there. Richardson gets super depth. That allows the spy to really keep up and to keep himself in between Richardson in the first down line, almost like defense. And you can see right there, he can fly as well. So, you know what I mean? But listen, that's still the man of steel right there. You take him down and Pattaya, you got to take it missionary style. He's the man of steel now. Let's not get too carried away now. Prison loving. All right, wanted to look at this play right here. Was this the fourth down play or something like that? Wanted to look at the product placement on this one. Now, we can look at the lower body mechanics. Obviously, he can't step into this throw, so this is an all-arm throw, just kind of a switch over. He didn't drive off his back like nothing, right? This is the one right here where you would want him to step into this one or be able to. Guess he has to get it around the lineman and everything. You got to make sure you point that as well. Now, this is some gangster coverage right here. Kentucky, that's what they do. They beat you up off the line of scrimmage. They always have these big, long cornerbacks. This one right here, up high, I think you give the cornerback a chance to work with this one right here. Block that off. Now, this would be the one you probably will want a little bit more lower in a way where you make it to where he really has to go through the receiver to get there, go through Frazier's to get there. To me, the product placement right there just helps out the Kentucky defender. Easily correctable. And it will be corrected in the future. So they had a nice little collage here. Now remember, there's a lot of people going to be watching this, or a lot of people who watch my college stuff because they are my NFL fan base. So there's some teams out there that are looking for some quarterbacks, namely Seattle, which I have a pretty big fan base of. Listen, if this happens to where Anthony Richardson decides to come back, to me, listen, straight up, y'all know I have a threshold. I want a certain amount of throws, like 500-600 something throws. I want you to start a certain amount of games. He's not going to reach those thresholds this season. So like I said before, projection versus production. He could learn in the NFL, or maybe he's just so talented that he does not need that. But more than likely, you probably do. So if he comes back next draft, or he comes back next season, he's in a draft with a guy that I think is more talented than he is. That is the Washington Wizard, Caleb Williams, from out here in the DMV area. That cat at USC, I think, can do a lot of the shit Anthony Richardson can do. But I think he's just a more natural thrower of the ball, just a little bit more naturally accurate, great team leader type cat. The only thing about him is I'm not sure about his height. He's listed at about 6'1", 6'2", or something like that. We'll have to see about that. Maybe he's 6'1", but that guy, man, is a straight up ball wizard, and he's an athletic cat, can break 70, 80-yard runs like Anthony Richardson. And then beyond that, man, you got that Quinn Ewers kid. I like what I saw from him in Texas. Maybe he will be in that draft as well. Both of these next couple of drafts should be pretty stacked. There's a lot of young quarterbacks out there that are in their second and third years on campus. So however it goes, I think Anthony Richardson, whenever he does come out, they're going to get this they're going to get this together to where stuff like this. Check this out. Look at the product placement on this one right here on the pool. Look at short about the cross face right here. You throw an anticipatory throw, but look, man, you throw that way up there, sky high, and short about 6'4" or something like that, ain't he? I don't think he got a hand on that pass. Check this out right here. I don't know exactly who this one's going to. I think it might be, look at this right here, just on a hitch route. This dude is putting 95 mile per hour, 99 mile per hour passes on people on hitches. That's getting to him super hot. You still got to catch it, but I said before, I've said this on a couple of Anthony Richardson Jones. He's going to be out there breaking some fingers. He doesn't really know how to throttle it to me. Like everything's hot. He's throwing everything hot. Same deal right here. You have Pearsall coming out of that. This one's on Pearsall, no doubt about that. But look at that. It's almost like a curveball or something like that. Like a, what do you call that? A 10-2 curve. It drops down real and gets on him quickly. That's hard. So one thing about arm strength, you have to be able to control it as well. That's how I know somebody has some arm strength, because listen, you want to be accurate with it. You throw it hard and you can't steer, right? The inability to steer it to where you want it to go. I think you have to question that as well. But just little stuff like that. If he can take the RPMs off of it, learn how to when to throttle it. Got another one right here. Look at that. He just shot that just straight up. No anticipation or nothing. Just shot it in a straight line. That's the straightest throw I think I've ever seen. Look where it lands. It's like almost directly where he threw it. even though it was a crosser. So there you have it, man. Listen, it's one game. You can't get too high, just like you couldn't get too high in the Utah game. A lot of people, like I was saying, I was like, man, they beat Utah. No doubt about that. We don't know what Utah is. And then they came down to the last play in the end zone. So it wasn't like they blew Utah out. And it wasn't like when Richardson played, he was like 100%. Like he threw for 80% completion percentage and stuff like that. He still was missing some passes that I was notating as well. So you just got to take the good with the bad, man. Listen, it's super late here, man. I gotta get to bed. I'm starting to. I don't know what I'm saying right now, so I don't know how this is gonna come out. I'll release it in the morning, like 4 a.m. right here, man. I'm trying to deliver you guys some content. So, hey, it is what it is right there. But we shall see how it turns out. I know people are gonna come in here and start hating on this kid or whatever like that. So it is what it is. It happens to the best of them. He'll bounce back. He'll be better for it. Sometimes you need these learning experiences to get better. And he just doesn't have that much experience. So we shall see how he bounces back from this. And that'll show you what type of leader he is. He could end up coming back and just destroying college football just for having a chip on the shoulder for having something like this. But this did happen in prime time, just like his good shit happened in prime time as well. So we got to take the good with the bad. On those prime time games, more people are watching. That means more people are judging. All right? With that being said, man, it's your boy Mid-Atlantic Murph. Strike the band.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.